Just to show why it matters, this is the banana zone. I posted this on Twitter. Global M2, 10-week lead over Bitcoin. Do you need anything better than that? Oh, wait, I can give you something better than that. I can give you the GMI total liquidity, which is both private sector and state sector liquidity versus Bitcoin. It says the banana zone is here. That's the only thing I can think of, is that everything I look at says the banana zone is here. Bitcoin seasonality, election years, October, up only. Right? And these are big moves. Everything I look at, every single thing shouts the banana zone.
After weeks of intense downturns with only brief moments of relief, the cryptocurrency market is finally showing signs of recovery, and experts believe this could be the long-awaited turning point. The excitement from the Federal Reserve's rate cut announcement on Wednesday was further amplified by the SEC's approval for the listing and trading of Bitcoin options on Friday. Senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas shared that the SEC had fast-tracked approval for BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, with other spot Bitcoin ETFs expected to follow soon. This is seen as a major victory for Bitcoin and crypto, drawing in more liquidity and institutional investors. Michael Saylor, executive chairman of MicroStrategy and a well-known Bitcoin advocate, emphasized that this approval would greatly accelerate institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Earlier, Saylor referenced a report from Unchained Crypto indicating that BNY Mellon could become the first bank to receive an SEC exemption from SAB 121, allowing it to custody Bitcoin. This would open the door for other major banks to offer Bitcoin custody services to their high-net-worth clients, marking another significant milestone in mainstream Bitcoin adoption. With these developments and central banks on the verge of what many experts predict will be the largest money-printing exercise in history, Real Vision's CEO Raoul believes the stage is set for a massive boom in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. In a recent video on his YouTube channel, Pal shared key charts suggesting that global liquidity could surge within the next 10 weeks, potentially leading to an explosive rise in cryptocurrency prices. According to Pal, the much-anticipated banana zone for Bitcoin may be just days away.
Now, I'm wearing my banana zone t-shirt because I think it's coming. I think it's coming in days or maybe a week. And before I said, well, maybe it's next month, maybe it's the month after, maybe it's this week, I don't know. I'm like, no. Julian and I in Global Macro Investor, which is the flagship research service. And if you haven't checked it out, go to globalmacroinvestor.com, have a look, see what we do from there. That's where we do the deep work. I think we do more macro crypto work than anybody else in the world. And I think our macro work is the best in the world as well. And we've done thousands of hours on this. And I know it sounds hubristic, but I honestly give this banana zone an 80-something% chance of happening almost immediately. Give it 2 weeks, within 2 weeks. And I know that sticking my neck out and wearing my banana zone t-shirt, I'm trying not to jinx the thing. But, as I've talked about, all of our hopes and dreams are in this. Mine too. Real Vision as a business. Almost everybody I speak to, I've been on the phone with a few, billionaire GMI subscribers, friends of mine. Everybody wants this to happen. Everyone needs this to happen because people are invested. Now, technology, there's a bunch of other ways of skinning this cat, but really people have been like this with high interest rates, a slow business cycle where ISM has been bumping along. And I know people like a lot of, people on Twitter are like, oh, my God, the markets are all-time high. What's everybody complaining about? Speak to real people when their mortgages are like that, their interest payments are like that, their credit card bills are like that. Speak to corporations who are trying to borrow money that aren't kind of, AAA rated tech companies that have no debt. All of this stuff. It has been very, very difficult for a while. Rates have been the highest they have for a very long time. The rate of change of interest rates was enormous. Inflation is now wildly below interest rates. So real rates are ridiculously restrictive. And people feel it. People are not happy. People don't have personal expenditure abilities to do what they want. But it's coming. It's coming. The business cycle's changing. So all of you who run businesses, all of you who see the sluggishness of the cycle and wonder why the equity market's going to all-time highs and your business isn't yet, it's all going to come. Things are going to improve dramatically. The equity market's driven by liquidity. Your earnings, yours and mine, are driven by the business cycle. And that is just about to pick up. So cheers. Here's to a much, much better 18 months ahead. The banana zone is here and now. The other thing I put out on X was about Sui. Sui is a crypto token that I'm on the foundation board of. So yes, I'm shilling it, but I'm actually not. I don't talk about stuff that I don't think is going to go up. I've been talking about this for a while. I've been warning people that I think SUI is going to be one of the chosen ones of the cycle. And it's starting to happen. SUI, it's outperforming pretty much everything now. And most importantly, it's outperforming Solana, which is my big bet. And Solana is, my chosen one. I have 90% of my net worth in Solana. But SUI, I've obviously been granted some tokens as being part of the foundation. They're locked up, etc. But I'm not going to sell. In fact, no, some of them are unlocked. I'm not going to sell. In fact, I've been buying personally because I think it's a chosen one. I think it's going to do really well.
In his video, Raoul acknowledges that one of the main criticisms of Sway is its low float token status. However, the Real Vision CEO counters this by arguing that during a full-blown crypto bull market, one he believes is imminent, a low free float means that only a small amount of capital is needed to drive prices significantly higher. Pal made similar points in a social media post last month, suggesting that low float, high fully diluted valuation tokens may actually outperform the market in a bull run. According to Pal, these tokens tend to drop by over 70% initially as the market prices in future unlocks, but from that point on, demand becomes the key driver of price movement. Pal explains that once supply is known, the focus shifts to demand. If a token shows increasing demand, either from network activity or speculative interest, its price can rise faster than supply can increase. With demand growing across the crypto space as the market enters the bull phases of crypto summer and crypto fall, tokens with low floats and rising demand could see more explosive upside. In his post, Pal argues that tokens demonstrating both network growth and investor interest might become the top performers over the next 18 months, despite the current narrative that such tokens should be avoided. Although Pal doesn't mention specific names in his post, it's clear that Sway is on his radar. Now let's return to the video for more of his insights.
One of what I like about SUI is what they're really trying to do is the team came out of Facebook or Meta, where they built the Libra project that was shut down by every government in the world. Not joking. They were literally told that they were not going to do this by everybody from the World Bank to the BIS to all the major central banks. And the team left. And they started, one group started Aptos, the other started SUI. They rebuilt the Move language they invented for this. And they built an incredibly sophisticated chain. But the point being is it's really bloody fast. The latency of the chain is less than 1 second for finality, which is, if you think half the stuff is like minutes, the latency is fast enough for gaming, financial markets, that kind of stuff. They've just launching Walrus, which is a decentralized data storage layer using blobs that's built on top of the SUI network. So think of Filecoin, think of AWS, decentralized, but for a Web3 world. That's coming on top. There's a bunch of other applications. Pilotfish is coming, which is their version of FireDancer, which will give it kind of unlimited TPS. It's just a bloody interesting project. You may hate it. You may have something else you prefer. All I ask you to do is show to yourself, not to me, that your chart is going to outperform Solana. And then is it going to outperform SUI? Is it going to outperform? That's the way to do things. And that's what got me into the Bitcoin ETH cross. That's what got me into the Solana ETH Solana trade. And SUI, I've been flagging this for a while. I thought it was looking like the chart was going to do this. So it feels like it's one of the big ones. There'll be other stuff that will outperform SUI without question. Maybe it's your token. Maybe it's your, and I'm not going to mention, every time I mention a bunch of tokens, I get shouted at. So I just can't be bothered with you guys. But listen, I believe in abundance. And I think I wish you, in whatever your choices are, the best. It is not player versus player. I'm just trying to make as much money for myself and for my subscribers of Pro Macro and Global Macro Investor and the Macro Investing Tool, all the things that I do to try and help people and publicly. I share a lot of my information for free. Pisses off some of the people who are paying tens of thousands of dollars for my research, but it's really important for me to help as many people in this journey as possible. If we're going through the largest opportunity in all macro history in the shortest period of time, I've got to take as many people as possible with me. If not, I'm selfish. That's not what I set up Real Vision. It's not what I've been doing this. It's really important to me that you guys do the best. Now, I am not fallible. I'm not a guru. I will not get everything right. And you will probably hate me at some point and love me at other times. Just like I mention this a lot. just realize I'm just trying to do the best I can to help. I'm not trying to diss your coin. I'm not trying to do anything against you. I'm not trying to scam you, shill you, do anything. I am just doing what I'm doing myself. And I'm telling you what I'm doing. And if you don't want to do that, that's good too. If you want to come along with me for the ride, that's fine too. I don't have all the answers. I will not be the best in the world.
In other news, BlackRock, the world's largest asset management firm with over $10 trillion in assets under management, has quietly revealed its preparations for a potential $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis involving Bitcoin. In a recent paper outlining the investment case for Bitcoin, BlackRock's ETF Chief Investment Officer, Head of Crypto, and Head of Fixed Income Global Macro argued that growing fears of a US dollar collapse could lead more investors to diversify into Bitcoin. Concerns over rising US federal deficits and debt have made alternative reserve assets like Bitcoin more appealing as a hedge against potential financial instability. The paper also noted that this dynamic is not limited to the US, as other countries with significant debt accumulation are seeing similar trends. The authors emphasized that while Bitcoin has shown short-term correlation with equities and other risk assets, its long-term fundamental drivers are distinctly different and often move inversely compared to traditional assets. This divergence is a key factor driving the recent surge in institutional interest in Bitcoin. Over the next few weeks, U.S. regulators are expected to make critical decisions that could further enhance Bitcoin's attractiveness to institutional investors. For example, while the SEC has approved the IBIT options listing, the OCC and CFTC must also grant approval before trading can officially begin. Additionally, the SEC is expected to issue special SA1 exemptions to select banks, allowing them to custody Bitcoin, which will likely drive even more institutional demand. With these developments, the stage is set for a surge in institutional interest and demand for Bitcoin, which could significantly impact its price. Exciting times lie ahead for the cryptocurrency and digital asset space in 2025 and beyond. Please share your thoughts on Raoul Pal's video, as well as your comments on the upcoming developments for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these two awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.